Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Magic TV. Tonight we're going to start our first video of a series on the history of Broadmeadow Magic from its earliest days till the present time. In this series, we're going to interview past and present committee members, past and present presidents of the club, their role at the club from their earliest days till the present day and what they've seen happen at the club. The first interview we're going to have is with our beloved club secretary, Stephen Pichaloff. Thank you for your time.
Not a problem, anytime.
My understanding is, Steve, you've been the secretary of Broadmeadow Magic now for well over 30 years. And if I'm not mistaken, it's probably the longest serving committee member, not only at Broadmeadow Magic, but the whole of Northern New South Wales. So credit to yourself for being involved with football for such a long time. First question I'd like to ask you is your earliest memories of being involved at Broadmeadow Magic, whether that was playing or supporting, and what stage of the club it was under what name?
Yeah, look, my earliest recollection of this football club, it goes back to the mid to late 60s. The club was formed in 66, so it would be that era. My older brother, Doug, who later became secretary of the club as well, he was playing for then, I think it was Macedonia United, and I used to go along as a 6 or 7 year old kid and kick a ball around while he was training as a 15 or 16 year old. From there, my playing career started in 1975. My recollection of the very first game in 1975 under the banner of Red Star was a game against Garden Suburbs, and we were playing at Myers Park, and I was one of the first goal scorers for the club in third grade at the time.
Beautiful. So a bit of history there for us as well, everyone. From those playing days, what made you decide to get into the committee side of Red Star, then into Newcastle Macedonia, then the present Broadmeadow Magic club name?
I really think it's just like natural progression, as a player. You grow to love the club. So in the mid 80s, 85, 86, I think it was, I became a secretary and have been a secretary ever since. It's been great times, and we've gone through name changes. We've gone through a whole heap of things: grand final wins, premierships, Australia Cups, you name it. It's just a great club, and it's good to be associated with such a successful club.
Okay, beautiful. Thanks for that. I guess the next question I'd like to ask you is, you just touched on there the many trophies, premierships, accolades the club has won. What would probably be 2 or 3 of the major ones that stand out in your memory still to this present day, which probably, I guess, touch the heart of yourself, the committee and the supporters of the club?
Look, when you're playing for trophies, they're all great, and when you're winning them, it's even better. Some of the better trophy wins I remember were one in particular against Western here at Magic Park. It was against a Western team that were virtually unstoppable. They had ex-National League players in it, and we actually did the job on them real comfortably. And that was without our first team keeper at the time, who was Craig Carter at the time. And I don't know if you know the story, but he wasn't available on that day.
Okay. I guess from those trophies there, being in the local competition, Magic's had a lot of success nationally, as in regards to the FFA Cup, which then got rebranded to the Australia Cup. And I think now it's under the banner the Hahn Australian Cup. What would be 1 or 2 of the memories that you can recall from those national stages?
It was FFA Cup at the time, 2014. We actually hosted the very first FFA Cup game here at Magic Park under lights. It was, so we were the very first game of that tournament. And, the trips away are just fantastic. Whenever you're travelling with the boys, it's just joy.
Beautiful. I guess the next question I'd like to ask, you've been here for such a long time. How did your part play in the development of Wanderers Oval as it was back then, to Wanderers Park, and now presently it's now being named Magic Park.
Yeah, look, how we got our roots here is a story in itself. Probably the best people to speak to there would be Larry Uderoff, president at the time when we secured tenure on the ground here, Tom Trzeski, who was instrumental in getting the facility built with his building licence. But I recall Larry travelling with then aldermen, I think they were called, council aldermen, did the rounds of Newcastle trying to find a venue for us. So that's where it started with Larry, and he's driving around Newcastle.
That's fantastic to hear. And I guess a lot of people wouldn't know that. That'll be in a future video, ladies and gentlemen who are watching at home. I guess trying to sum up now, Stephen, you've been at the club for a long time. A lot of people see your face around Newcastle everywhere. I guess a lot of people don't know, a couple of years ago you were acknowledged at Northern New South Wales with winning the Bill Turner Award for your accolades and achievements with football. Could you quickly touch on that, let people know what that award, how that award comes about, and how you felt on the night being given such a prestigious award for your work in football?
Look, very proud moment to be acknowledged as a hard-working volunteer. But at the time, the speech I gave at Northern was pretty simple. When you're working with good people, it's really easy to be a volunteer. It is hard work, but it's really easy when you're working with good people.
I guess in summing up, the club's had such a long past history, success on and off the field. How do you see the club progressing forward in the future and the many more years to come?
Look, the demands on volunteers and club administrators is it's getting harder and harder to do. Obviously, we need more people to help, which is not always easy. But look, we roll with the punches. We get the job done, and I have no doubt whatever comes at us, we'll tackle it.
It's lovely. For that, I guess we'd love to sum up now. One last final question, Steve. Totally off football. You go home tonight, open your wallet. There's $15 in there. What would you spend that last $15 on?
Flowers for Susan.
Great answer. Thank you very much for your time. I know you're a very busy man here. We will see everyone in our next video.
Thank you.